Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're watching this on YouTube, which it may well end up on YouTube later, probably, maybe, hopefully. Welcome to the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It's the game I can just simply never put down for very long. We're doing another Twitch streamed playthrough. Last time it was with Antonia, the Imperial Legionary. This time, a new character. I will try and remember to put a mod list in the description of the video on YouTube. But my mod list isn't entirely complete yet. I was sort of 80% of the way through putting it together today when the Morrowind Nexus site went down. So what I've got is playable, and I have most of what I actually want in the install here.
Taken you from me.
But I'm missing a couple of things. Just gonna skip that. All right. I think I want custom beginning. Name. Right. I'm just gonna put some gibberish in here, and we'll change it later. The character we're gonna play in this playthrough, my focus is going to be doing the temple quests, and also a fair chunk of the Mages Guild. Although I don't think I'm going to actually really zero in and focus on actually completing the Mages Guild start to finish. I just want to do a decent chunk of the of mostly the Tamriel Rebuilt mainland Mages Guild stuff. And also I want to do the temple. And the temple I probably will try and do to completion. That's the plan anyway. The temple is my favorite vanilla faction. I think their quests are just lovely, and it's been a while. It's been a while since I played a temple character, and also it's been a really long time since I did any of the Tamriel Rebuilt temple stuff. Last time I played any of the temple stuff in Tamriel Rebuilt was with the original TR release back in the day. So it's been a long friggin' time. And the latest Tamriel Rebuilt update included a big overhaul of Almasthir, which is like, you know, hardcore temple territory as well, so it feels like this is good timing, really. The character build we're going for is going to be a pure mage with unarmored and hand-to-hand. No weapon skills at all, just pure magic and kung fu, essentially. And I'm going to play as a Dark Elf because, mostly just the sane choice would be either a Breton or a High Elf. But I want to play as a Dark Elf just because playing as a doing the temple as not a Dark Elf just feels kind of weird. So it's going to be a Dark Elf. So we won't get a lovely Magicka bonus, a multiplier bonus from being a Breton or a High Elf, sadly. We're going to be a Dark Elf, though. We're going to be a Lady Dark Elf, I think, because otherwise if I play another Dark Elf dude, it's going to feel, the vibes will feel much too similar to Fathis. So, there's also a bunch of, like, crazy new heads available with the latest Tamriel Rebuilt. There's one I'm looking for in particular. Well, actually, a couple. It's like the jewelry and, like, the face painting has gone really, like OTT of late. I think there's one where it's like half the face has been painted yellow, so they look like Vivek. Yeah, that one there with like all of the bling as well. It's like friggin' crazy. Look at that. Mental. I think I'm going to go with that one. It's a little less crazy, although she's still got like friggin', I don't know, what is this? Bits of gemstone like scarified into her face or something. Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. What hairstyle do we want to go with? There's like a million bajillion to choose from. Some of them are absolutely bonkers. Like there's some with like veils attached. Yeah, look, check it out. I think these are probably like Ashlander heads or something. Actually, I don't know. That one looks a bit posh for Ashlanders. Either way, there's a lot of weird stuff in here now. Oh, there you go. Oh, check this one out. Look like friggin' Mad Eye Moody with this. Don't even know what that's from. It's probably one very specific NPC in the game that's got that. And then we're back to the star again. Let's go for a hairstyle that isn't too bananas. Some of them are pretty bananas, though. I mean, wow. You know what? This one's kind of alright. Yeah, that works. I think the eyebrows more or less match up. Like, you can barely see the eyebrows, but they do look kind of light brown, gingery coloured. So, there we go. So, with Rebirth, some of the racial powers and whatnot are a bit different. We get Protective Spirit, Sanctuary 25 points for 60 seconds on self, Ashborn, Resist Fire 50%, and Resist Common Disease 25%. An Ancestral Guardian. A Summon and Ancestral goes for 60 seconds. A little bit boring, actually, compared to some of the other ones available. But the other option I was thinking of going with was an Argonian, but then I just thought to myself, an Argonian doing the Dunmer Temple questline is just feels wrong. You know? It just feels weird. Oh, God. It's back the other way, isn't it? I've reset this now. Like an idiot. An imbecile. This one, there's another one back here. This one, was it? That one. That one's kind of cool as well. I like the yellow face tattoos on this one, but she has this really weird expression on her face that's like permanently like she's just stood on a Lego, and I'm not digging it. So that one's kind of cool if it weren't for the fact that the bling is a little bit OTT. The piercings are just a little bit bonkers on that one. I can't look at that face without, like, kind of instinctively, like, wincing a bit. That's the one. That's the one we were going with. There we go. Brilliant. She looks fine. Let's see. What are my skill bonuses then? Athletics 5, Destruction 10, Light Armor 5, Long Blade. Okay, the only relevant ones here for our playthrough are going to be Destruction and Mysticism. Efficient character builds on Sorcerer Dave's channel? No, not on my watch. Create custom class. Okay. Adventurer. The name does not matter. Specialization, magic. Favorite attributes. I think actually strength and intelligence might be just fine. Although, does anyone remember what the governing attribute of hand-to-hand is? We'll find out, won't we? Where is hand-to-hand? It's actually speed. Okay. I mean, strength will increase our actual punch damage, but maybe we'll give it speed and intelligence then. That seems... yeah, that seems about right. Conceptually to me. Hand-to-hand and unarmored. Distraction. Alteration, restoration, illusion, conjuration, alchemy, enchant, and mysticism. There we go. That's the build. Willpower can be annoying to level. I always found intelligence much more annoying to level, because most of these magic skills are willpower governed, right? Yeah. These main three are all willpower. Illusion is personality. Conjuration is intelligence. Mysticism is willpower as well. So basically, like, the only spell school with the governing attribute of intelligence is conjuration. So in order to raise conjuration, you really have to, I mean, raise your intelligence efficiently every level up. You really have to, like, go all in ham on conjuration and alchemy. Enchant is such an absolute waste of a skill, but I feel like it is one of the magic skills, and so therefore I'm going to take it anyway, even though this is basically just like throwing a skill slot in the bin. Illusion personality is annoying to level up, yeah. I'm happy with speed and intel. That's fine. We can even add a class description if we really wanted to, but we're not going to. Enchant kind of is the worst. Yeah, it's not. It's really not very good. But I'm committed to the concept of taking every magic skill. So, let's see. Apprentice or Atronach. Those are the only two real choices. Since we're not playing as a Breton or a High Elf, we must take a Magicka multiplier to make this work. Question is, do we want Atronach for the double intelligence and the spell absorption, but also the stunted Magicka, or do we want the Apprentice for 1.5 multiplier and also the 50% weakness to Magicka? It's been a while since I've played an Atronach. I can't remember how much of a pain in the ass stunted Magicka actually is. Because you can never rest to restore your Magicka with that. Like, I don't get a tooltip when I mouse over it, but you can never rest to restore Magicka. You always have to use potions, and Magicka potions are always annoyingly scarce in this game, because you cannot make them easily with alchemy. They do not. There aren't any commonly available ingredients to make Magicka potions in Morrowind. In vanilla, you can abuse temple shrines. You go to the temple or whatever. You use the shrine and you absorb the Magicka from the shrine, and it usually restores all your Magicka. But as someone has pointed out in the chat, I think that little exploit has been stamped out by Rebirth. So I think I'm going to go with the Apprentice. I think the weakness to Magicka 50% is going to certainly add a bit of spice to magic encounters, but I think overall it's going to be less frustrating to have to deal with than the stunted Magicka from the Atronach. So we're going to do that, and let's give ourselves a proper name now. What should we call this character? Chat's not on screen. I know. I'm aware. Hello, Asteroids. Yep, it's Morrowind. And Snore as well. Can't you summon Ancestral Ghost and let it attack you to absorb Magicka? Snore, I'll level with you. There is an inherent problem with your strategy, and I don't know if you think about it for a few minutes, you'll figure out what that is. In fact, this is distant cousin Brathis. Doug. Yeah, so that's an excellent female Dunmer name. Very authentic, that, Doug. No, we're not calling her Karen. For goodness sake. Why would you do that? Why? Hilarious Ulven. Why must we oh my god. Oh my, why does every character must be related? Star Wars and Marvel have a lot to answer for, don't they? Sally. The prequel. The Sally prequel. That's almost tempting. We are going to play a temple character, aren't we? And that was her background, wasn't it? Okay, fine. Yeah, we're doing an official, unofficial prequel to the Knights of the Nine Sally playthrough, apparently. Sally wasn't really a mage. I guess not, but like I guess she changed career paths midlife in Knights of the Nine and went down a new route. I can't remember what she actually looked like, what her hair color was like, and whatnot in that LP. To be honest with you, but sod it. Who cares? I guess. I don't remember what her hair color was. We could at least try and get that right. Explains why Sally sucked at heavy armor at the start of Knights of the Nine. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it, really? Was it a grey ponytail? Grey? I don't remember that. That's funny. I can't. Well, it's not often I completely forget what a previous character I played looked like. Most of the time, she had that big bucket helmet over her face. So when I think of Sally in my head, I just imagine a picture of the Divine Crusader. She went through a phase. Keep the current look. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. So our major skills: hand to hand 30, unarmored 35, destruction 45, which isn't bad. Alteration 35, Restoration 35, Illusion 20, Conjuration 20, Alchemy 20, Enchant 20, Mysticism 25. So, distinctly friggin' average. Her best miscellaneous skill is Short Blade at 15. Other skills, bushcrafting, fishing, painting, and survival, are all thanks to various mods I have installed. Ashborn and Elfborn. Yeah, those are our abilities. Spells we'll start with will be Elemental Burst weak, Reflect weak, Shield weak, Exhausting Touch weak, Water Walking weak, Restore Health weak, and Tap Energy weak. Not a bad opening set of spells, I suppose. So what are our attributes like? She's got 60 speed, which is marvellous. Terrible endurance. 40 agility, which is okay. Not as bad as Antonia's agility was. Wasn't Antonia's agility something like 30? Something really dreadful. Willpower 30, which is not very good for a mage character, I must admit. But that we will end up increasing that shed loads every time we level up from using magic skills, so I'm not that worried about that. Intelligence 50 is nice, though. Strength 40 is like, whatever. Luck 40, personality 40. Been playing with Borderless Window? I am. Why'd you ask? Do you mean, because of the Joy of Painting mod? Yeah, it recommends playing it in Borderless Window. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm one step ahead of you. I read the small print on that one. Just going up on YouTube. Yeah, probably will. Maybe a clipped, edited version of it for YouTube, potentially, a bit like I did with those Stalker VODs. But we'll see. I don't know yet. I know that a clipped and edited version of the VOD always looks more professional, but the boomer dinosaur part of my brain really feels these days like pushing back against the whole clipped short form zip ADHD enabling form of entertainment these days, common on YouTube. I really feel like pushing back against that because actually I find that's not necessarily the kind of content I generally like to watch, actually. I tend to like to watch, when it comes to video games, full unedited playthroughs. Particularly because this is something that's been lost in the era of heavily edited gameplay footage, is that one of the reasons a lot of people watch Let's Plays, or used to watch Let's Plays, is because it was a really good way to learn the game. If it was a game you were unfamiliar with and you want to learn a bit more about it, sometimes the best way to learn was, rather than looking up guides and stuff like that, was actually just to watch someone else play it and get a general feeling for the approach that you're supposed to take. And you don't get that. You don't get that from watching a heavily edited Let's Play, because all of the interesting nitty-gritty bits that you learn from are edited and cut out just to bring it down to just the funny, memorable moments. So I don't know yet whether or not we'll heavily edit this for YouTube or whether we'll just give it the whole 9 yards, totally uncut. Anyway, can anyone tell me what Dave's playing as? No, is it you taking the piss? We're literally staring at my character sheet right now. Everything you need to know is literally in front of you. Love your slow playthrough of Trespasser. Yes, that's one of my favourite series I ever made, actually. It was a bit of a tribute to another Trespasser Let's Play from many years ago that was very similar. I wanted to basically do an updated version for the modern 16:9 aspect ratio era. Give Sally a last name. I don't. No, I think we'll be right without. If I recall, the headcanon for Sally originally was that her name is not actually Sally. It was some long-winded, multiple-syllable Dark Elven name that just got shortened by literally everybody to Sally. As a sort of pet name, nickname thing. That had just kind of stuck. Do my eyes deceive me, or is this a hand-to-hand playthrough? Yeah, hell yeah it is. Anyway, I think we're good. I think we're ready to go. Our character build is looking distinctly average. Would you like to run the ability editor? No. No. Yes. Alright, weapons. No. None. None required for this playthrough. I shall take my 25 gold pieces, thank you. Armor. Clothing female, I suppose. Misc. Alright, hammers and prongs, lockpicks and probes, skooma pipe and narcotics. We're going to get so... It's going to be just like the Antonia playthrough, isn't it? We're going to get so screwed over by locked containers and doors for a while. Till I can get an alteration spell good enough to open a lot of them. Although I must admit, at least we do have magic available to us. The most frustrating thing about Antonia's playthrough was that I made that rule where I wasn't allowed to use magic at all. Unless it was a enchanted item. Jugs of liquor, potions of health, potions of magicka. Yes. Under what circumstances does your story begin? Arriving on a prison ship from Cyrodiil, like in vanilla. Exploring around Dagonfell, stepping onto the docks at Ebonheart, getting something to eat in Caldera, browsing the market at Nessus, drowning in a shipwreck on the east coast, and that's how Antonia started, wasn't it? Hiding from the law, diving for pearls near Pelagiad, hunting in the Grazelands, working in the fields, collecting ingredients on the Bitter Coast, grave robbing in a tomb near Balmora. If I recall correctly, working in the fields actually starts you off as a slave. You have like a slave bracer and everything. Grave robbing in a tomb near Balmora. Studying the Balmora Mages Guild. That would certainly shave off a bit of time. Gathering firewood in the wilderness. In prison at Vivec. Shipwrecked on a beach. Fighting a battle in the Vivec arena. Setting up camp near Kuul. Working as a commoner in Margan. Paying homage at the fields of Kumu. That would be getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. But it would feel like an appropriate starting location. Shaking down Fargoth. Enjoying Desole's House of Earthly Delights. Fishing in Hala Oad. Kwama egg mining near Balmora. Resting at the Gateway Inn or playing for patrons in Pelagiad. That has some very nice alliteration to it, that one. No, bad Dunwall. No. No. That's you take that back right away. Collecting ingredients on the Bitter Coast is a good one. That would save a bit of time on our first Balmora Mages Guild quest, wouldn't it? Collecting ingredients on the Bitter Coast. Muck Quest 2 Electric Boogaloo, yeah. Given we're doing the temple as the start, that gives us a muck shovel. I wish, yeah. And you know what? I want to do paying homage at the Fields of Kumu. I like the idea that Sally's just wandering along. She gets to the shrine at the Fields of Kumu. She's paying her respects, and then she just sort of has a bit of an epiphany and thinks to herself, hang on a minute. Why don't I join the temple and become like a clergyman? Why don't I do that? I've come to a crossroads in my life. I'm not really sure what I want to do with myself, but for some reason this just feels right to me. So that's what we'll go with. You watch it just crash now after all that effort. No, okay, we're good. Although I have... Thanks, Rebirth. I've just spawned in the middle of a solid object. Starting as we mean to go on, I see. There we go. There it is, the Fields of Kumu Shrine. Here in the fields of Kumu, Vivek acted as a beast of burden for a poor farmer who could not harvest muck sponge after his guar died. There's some stone flowers, which we'll take. Well, there we are. Alright, so our spells. What have we got that's actually useful? Elemental Burst. Restore health. Shield, maybe a little bit. Water walking. Let's have Elemental Burst equipped for now, I think. We got a mysterious note that allows us to start the main quest. We're not doing that, so I'm just gonna pop that down here, where we may never have to deal with it ever again. Don't I? Hang on a minute. Don't I have perfect placement? I do. I do have perfect placement, so I can actually like place stuff a little bit less jankily now. Can I actually stick it to a wall with perfect placement? That's kind of fun. Orient to surface toggle. Oh, I've never played around with this before. Okay. What? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Where's it gone? I pressed G and drop. It's not in my inventory. It's just... Okay, it's disappeared forever. Whatever. That's fine, I guess. Alright. We've actually got a copy of the Pilgrim's Path on us, which is neat. I guess that's specific to our starting location. That's nice. I know that you do get some specific items depending on which starting location you pick. Because if you decide to start off in Pelagiad, you actually start the game with a loot in your inventory. So what do we got? We got an expensive shirt and an expensive skirt and expensive shoes. But we've also got a common monk robe thing as well. There she is. There's Sally, a younger, more naive version of Sally from the Knights of the Nine playthrough. I've got... I haven't actually started with a single Restore Magicka potion. So this is random a little bit. There's a bit of RNG to this, and I've been screwed by RNG this here. All I've got is Fortify Magic, Fortify Intelligence, and 2 bargain Fortify Intelligence potions. Wow. That's just useless. Thanks, game. Thanks a bunch. Alright. At least we move pretty quick. That's 60 speed and virtually empty inventory doing us some favors right now. Alright, so let's see. We want to... Oh my god, look at that blank map. Beautiful. I still have that glitch bit of terrain over there. Oh yeah, I clearly didn't remove whatever mod was causing that. My install is a little jank. It's the same one we used with Antonia, but with a few of the mods removed that we don't need anymore. So there's still a few interesting issues like that. Like, it works. It doesn't crash too often, so I'm happy to carry on with using the old install. But it's a little imperfect. Latest version of UI expansion fully renders all of Tamriel Rebuilt on the map and lets you zoom in and out. I mean, you can zoom in and out with page up and page down, and you can see all of Tamriel Rebuilt. The main problem with not using OpenMW is that you can't see Skyrim Home of the Nords or Province Cyrodiil, because the map won't extend far enough to the left. Cork bulb. Right, we are playing with Ashfall as well, so I need to make sure we actually eat and stuff. Probably get our hands on some camping gear. But I guess we might as well make our way to Balmora, because that'll allow us to join the Mages Guild and the Temple at the same place. Hello, Arkanthand. Our first foe. Alright, this is a touch spell, isn't it? It's not on target. What's my cast chance right now, considering my fatigue is absolutely nuked? It's not too bad, actually. Oh, he says it's not too bad and then immediately fails. Well, that works. That's good. I probably could have punched it to death instead, but hey. Combat! Yes. Let's try and punch this Nyx Hound. Hiya! It's not going terribly well so far. We do want to practice this though. Because hand-to-hand can be ludicrously OP if you get the skill high enough. But at low levels it's a bit rubbish. Need enemy stamina bar. Didn't you have absorb fatigue, or did I imagine that? You know what? You make an excellent point. I dismissed that as being a useless spell, but actually, in the context of being a hand-to-hand character, that's genius. If only we could see a stamina bar. There's probably a mod for that somewhere that I don't have, but unfortunately, since the Morrowind Nexus is down at the moment, there's no way to download the bloody thing, even if it does exist. Excuse me. How much fatigue does this Nyx Hound have? My god. Should we try that again without failing? Thank you. Level 1 fun, yeah. At least we're in not much actual danger. So we can afford to dick around here. There we go, look, already raised my hand-to-hand by 1 point. I can see why there's a mod these days for like auto attack. You can get it these days. It's like a macro thing, and it makes your character automatically attack without you having to repeatedly click the mouse. Useful for early game. Shame you can't do a Skyrim and enchant your fists. I guess you just don't need to in this game, do you? Because as pathetic as this looks now, folks, believe me, late game hand-to-hand is downright unstoppable. Hooray! Skinnable Nyx Hound. I do not have anything to turn into a Looney Tunes character there for a moment. I don't have anything to skin it with. I assumed that fact was referring to the you know, the fancy you know, dueling gauntlets you can get in Skyrim these days from the Anniversary Edition. Oh, hello, Imperial Fort. Memories of Antonia's playthrough from this place, but not interested this time. I don't think Sally has anything particularly against the Empire. She's an Outlander, after all. But certainly no interest in joining the Imperial Legion. Ah, there it is, Belmora. You can tell with a ride because my frame rate is going down. A cliff racer. Our first. You didn't waste any time, did you, sir? Sometimes you can go for hours without seeing your first cliff racer. Not today, though. Very well. Cowabunga it is. The shield spell only lasts 15 seconds. Probably going to take him about that long to get down here. Come along, my possibly feathered friend. They have plumes, don't they, after all these things? We really need to get a range spell, don't we? Gen Alpha brain rot. I struggle with Gen Z brain rot as it is. I can't wait to see what kind of nonsense Gen Alpha ends up throwing out into the void of the internet. Fucking wrecked and destroyed synapses of their iPad kid brains. Y'all just don't have Riz. One day Gen Alpha is going to look up at you and make fun of how cringe it is to say Riz. It'll happen to you! This guy is just taking the piss, isn't he? There we go, finally. Unarmored increased, hooray. And we're strung together 3 hits in a row there. Alright, we need some healing. This guy's getting a little too frisky. This is some top tier boomer gameplay we're witnessing right here, isn't it? You just watch the viewer count plummet as we sit here punching the same cliff racer for 30 minutes. Absorb fatigue? My fatigue has not actually gone down very much, but so it's kind of handy. Mysticism, as usual, is OP. Yeah. Now this is content, yeah. Oh, failed casting spell. Yeah, I'm out magicka now. Right, bearing in mind I don't have any restore potions, we should probably deal with this guy soon. As if I have any choice in the matter. It's like entirely down to the damn dice gods at this point. Just gonna have to go run into someone's house to flee from this monstrosity. If he doesn't fall down soon. Oh, we're getting someone out. They don't sort of flop down on the floor, do they, when they get KO'd, do they, the cliff racers? They just continue flapping in place. Oh, come on. Come on, Sally. You've got, like, full fatigue. How are you still considering to miss this much? There we go. Victory! Sweet victory! I'm taking your plumes. Spinner. Spinner? What the heck does that mean? I can't wait to find out. Probably something fishing related, now I think about it. Also, we should probably be collecting like random stones and branches and things for crafting purposes whenever we see them. Owned. This basket's not owned, but it's also empty. Well, here's Balmora. There's the Mages Guild. Hello! Yes, we would really, really, really like to join. Now remember the Mages Guild. Duties. Okay, speak with Jira. Brilliant. Okie dokie. Mostly I just want to sleep right now and rest and get my stats back. It mostly looks the same as vanilla, doesn't it? Hooray! We're fully healed at 5 AM. Hello, Ajira. What brings you to Ajira's shop? Do you want duties from Ajira? Yes. Ajira has duties for you. Before Ajira can be a journeyman in the Mages Guild, Ajira must study local mushrooms. To finish Ajira's report, Ajira needs samples of Luminous Rossula, Violet Coprinus, Bungler's Bane, and Hyperphasia. I just knocked over my bottle of water. Ajira knows you can find all of these on the Bitter Coast. Very good. That's what we'll go get then. How much money do we have? Virtually nothing. Good, good, good. It's a VO mod for the guilds. Yeah, I don't particularly care for AI voice acting, so I'm not using anything in that department. I wonder if the temple's open at 5 AM. Right. Who do we speak to join in Balmora? Yeah, text to speech are coming along. Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. I object to AI voice acting basically, though, on the basis that I just find it creepy and weird to take somebody's voice and make them say things without their permission. You want to go and actually get the express permission of all the Morrowind voice actors to use their voices in mods. You get their written permission to do it. Fine, awesome. I guess I'll install it and give it a go. But until then, I don't like it. The idea of someone using my voice, for example, without my permission, even for just the totally benign purposes of, I don't know, doing something like making a companion mod for Skyrim with my voice, I would still feel really fucking weird about that. Especially if they didn't ask my permission before doing it. Can I join the temple? Am I talking to the right person? I don't think I am I? I need to talk to you, maybe? Nope. Alright. Maybe it's someone up at the top level then. Or is there someone else I'm missing here? couple of pilgrims praying. I get that like Gen Z doesn't understand the concept of reading text on a screen that isn't closed captions that are like 6 words long at a time, but just fucking deal with it. Just read the words, damn it.
I can be of assistance.
You! Aha! Finally. We should have known it was her that was in charge because she's got fancier looking shoulders. Always the hallmark of an important RPG character. The fancier their shoulders look, the higher up the hierarchy they clearly are. Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple? You have a promising look. Perhaps we could use you. Do you wish to join, or shall you hear our doctrine first? Let's hear the doctrine just for giggles. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters, in thought or deed, as we are all one body. If you somehow fail to uphold these ideals, you must speak with a master or the patriarch to be cleansed of your wrongdoings. Still want to join? Yes, I am worthy. You are now a layman in the temple. Welcome, Sister Sally. I am one of the several masters you can go to get your duties, and if you perform well, advancement in the temple is not out of the question. Before I give you any other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimages of the 7 graces. Take this book, The Pilgrim's Path. It describes where the pilgrimage sites are. After you have completed these pilgrimages, speak with me again. I should warn you that while most of these are easy, the pilgrimages of the Ghost Gate and the Ruddy Man are more difficult. You may wish to do those last. I will do them in the order they are written in the book, although she's now giving me an extra copy of The Pilgrim's Path. I'm just going to pop this back on the shelf, Ducky. I don't actually need that. I've got my own dog-eared copy. How would I go about... This is another opportunity to muck around a bit with perfect placement so I can learn how that mod works. Hold left shift to rotate item. Vertical mode. Cycle. Snap rotation toggle. Oh, I see. Orient to surface toggle. That allows you to make it go through objects, I suppose, or does it? Honestly, not sure.
What do you think of that one?
Doesn't seem to do anything when I press that, honestly. Whoa. Oh, maybe it makes it drop once you let go of it. Maybe that's how it works. Oh my... Okay, it's down there. I'm good. Ooh. Yes, I don't want to rotate it that way. I want to rotate it the other way. Match last place item. Hold left alt. Okay, interesting. Vertical mode cycle. There doesn't seem to be another way to rotate it. It's kind of weird. I want to turn the book sideways the other way so I can stack it up on the shelf. Like a, you know, like an actual normal fucking book. But maybe I need to do no. Perfect placement isn't really that perfect. It's not, is it? Solid. There we go. Oh. What the? It happened again. It disappeared. Do you know what? I'm not going to use perfect placement too often. It seems very strange and confusing to me. Most of the time, my items just seem to disappear. Oh, it's ended up underneath the shelf. That's where it's gone. Now I don't even know how to get it out from under there. It's like when the cat knocks one of his toys right under the sofa. There we go. Just make it go on the shelf there, like that. There we go. That works. Whew. That was far too much work. Okay, so Pilgrim's Path. The pilgrim must visit each of the shrines of the 7 graces. At each site, the pilgrim must stand before the 3-sided stone trilith and read the inscription. To ease the pilgrim's task, the temple has made this list of shrines along with directions and advice to pilgrims. The blessings of each shrine last at least half a day. The Fields of Kumu, Shrine of Humility. Here, Lord Vivek met a poor farmer whose guar had died. The farmer could not harvest his muck without his guar, and he could not provide for his family or his village. So the Lord Vivek removed his fine clothes and toiled in the fields like a beast of burden until the crop was harvested. It is at the Fields of Kumu we go to pray for the same humility Lord Vivek showed on that day. The Fields of Kumu are west of Suran in the north shore of Lake Anmaya as you head towards Pelagiad. The shrine is between 2 rocks and most easily noticed while travelling east along the road. Alof's farm nearby has a small dock on the north bank of Lake Amaya. This is the only dock nearby which Alof kindly allows servants of the temple to use. It is customary to leave a portion of muck at the shrine to represent Vivek's humility. So I need to acquire some muck. Luckily, I think I know where we can do that very easily. Also, temple supply chests, since when were they a thing? CV intervention, cure poison and cure common disease. And a cure blight disease one as well. Nice. Yes, presumably that's a Rebirth edition, which I approve of immensely. We should probably also raid the Mages Guild supply chest. It's here, isn't it? There we go. A medium quality scroll. Guess I'll take that. Maybe I can... Oh, we've got scrolls of varying qualities. So maybe I can use them for enchanting. Maybe enchant is actually worth a damn in Rebirth. You never know. Tales of the Devious Trader. Mercantiles increase. This is a story about the mudcrab merchant, isn't it? Or is it? I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. Oh, I forgot we had the weapon sheathing mod. Not relevant to our character, is it really? But we'll be able to see other NPCs' sheathed weapons, I suppose.
All right, I'm listening.
Oh, we're not of sufficient rank to use the magic circle. Maybe, actually, having said that, maybe the scrolls are to do with the joy of painting. We're thirsty and peckish right now, apparently, by the way. We should probably fix that. Where can we go to get some drinks and what? Well, there's the well, but obviously need some sort of container to take water with us on the road. Don't you sell like random crockery and stuff usually? Oh, hello. He sells a lot of stuff. Oh, frames for pictures, an easel, various scrolls, a canvas. Oh, different types of canvas. So the joy of painting is a Morrowind mod that allows your character to paint paintings. It's honestly really cool, and I've wanted to try it for ages, but Antonia, our previous character in Morrowind, did not really seem like the painterly type, so I didn't bother to install it with her. Sally, though, I think she has more of an artistic spirit. So I definitely want to give that a go. There's also a bunch of Ashfall things in here as well. Oh, and some fishing things too. I got Ultimate Fishing installed as well, so we can do some fishing. All this equipment is expensive for us right now, though. Yep. We can craft a lawful lot of stuff ourselves, to be fair, but I need some sort of container, really. I mean, a cooking pot is something we will need eventually, but right now I just need like a few empty bottles or something. Maybe the pawnbroker's got what I need. It's like a screenshot, but it creates a painting and get yes. It'll be easier to show rather than tell when we get around to it.
What is this about?
Barter. What do you have, madam? Do you... Ah, yes, here's the junk I'm looking for. What would be a good choice? I'd like one of those big jugs with a cork in the top. Water capacity on these are all 90. This is 100. Peach glass pot's 100, and that's actually got some water in it already. Weight 2. Okay, that's not actually as efficient in terms of weight, is it, though? I think these empty bottles are the best things we want, really. These glass bottles, because they weigh 1, have a capacity of 90. That's pretty good. Get a couple of those. The other pots and things weigh more, so... So we get a proper water skin anyway. That'll do, I think. Is there anything we can sell you? Because I'm pretty sure I have a few useless potions, don't I? Yeah. They can certainly go. I have any other useless crap? Do I actually want to get rid of those? The question, the racer plumes, I suppose, can go. Though, actually, racer plumes are a relatively useful alchemy ingredient. Also, I'm keeping my gold connects. I'm going to need it later. You can have my old trousers and shoes, though. You can enjoy. There you go. Right, so our current quest, get to the fields of Kumu and also farm mushrooms on the Bitter Coast. The Bitter Coast is literally just over there, so... Tell you what. We'll go down this way. Take the scenic route. Yeah, our initial paintings will probably be rubbish when we finally do them, because there's a skill associated with it. Yeah, I don't know, our current painting skill is 10, so... Willow flowers, are they useful at all? Not really, although... No. There's a big bun fight in the chat at the moment over AI voice acting versus text-to-speech software, and I think Justina has hit the nail on the head, really, by saying that the difference between them, and the important difference between AI voice acting and text-to-speech software, is that text-to-speech software is using voice samples that have been actually willingly donated by someone. Like, I don't, like, in principle, I don't have a problem with AI voice acting as long as it's taken from a source that has given consent for their voice to be used as a sample. Like, if it's, you know, if we're all consenting adults in this AI voice acting scenario, there's no problem. It's the lack of consent that bothers me about AI voice acting. Chiefly. Can't remember if Heather's useful for much. I'm taking it anyway. Anyway, I like the idea of us doing a bit of the artistic painting stuff. I mean, for one thing, I mean, she's got these magnificent, like, facial tattoos, or whatever you want to call them. So she's obviously sort of a very visual person. But I'm also thinking of, like, you know, all those, like, temple murals and stuff you get in this game on the trioliths and on the walls and the frescoes and things. Like, clearly the tribunal temples are very, like most religions, really. Like, it has a very artistic element to it that I feel like makes sense for a character like this. We're still peckish, aren't we? All I've got to eat is raw cork bulb right now. Unfortunately. Can we make any tools yet? Can't, can we? Don't even have the recipe for any equipment. Wait, here we go. Flint knife. Flint and wood. Need rope as well. Chiefly, though, I think we need the knife just to be able to harvest vegetation and skin animals and things. So I need to keep my eyes peeled for a bit of flint on the ground. Kagouti. I'm going to leave them alone, actually. A bit above my pay grade right now, I feel like. Raw cork bulb does not sound fun to eat. No, it feels sort of to me like trying to eat. I was about to say like a raw potato, but like I reckon cork bulb is even more difficult than that. Like trying to eat a cricket ball. That's a rubbish analogy because no one outside of the UK is going to get it. Flint knife, there we go. Successfully crafted a flint knife. Marvellous, that will now allow me to harvest plant fibre. And then with the plant fibre, I can make rope. With that I can make a stone hammer, which you can perform basic repairs with. Not that we have much to repair other than our other tools, I suppose, but doesn't hurt to have it. Straw bed. Straw, wooden rope we need for that. Make a lean-to out of straw, rope, and wood. Rather just buy a tent, I think, though. However, with a bit more flint... and a bit more wood... It's draining your agility. The fact that we're hungry... Whack that plant enough times. There we go. Hurrah. Flint chisel. Combine that with the hammer. Ooh, flint pickaxe. That's new. Be used to harvest stone. Oh, okay. Wood axe, flint. Yeah, you can use that to chop trees down. Obviously. Right, however. I think I can use now the chisel. Wherever it's gotten to. Yeah, now I can use that to do things like make wooden bowls, cups, whatnot. Wooden ladle. If I add some stone... I think I could make like a stone bowl that I could use to cook things in. Black anther plant. Guess I'll take that.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
Hello, please could you help me? I've lost my way and cannot find the holy place for which I am searching. Yes, the fields of Kumu. I'm on a pilgrimage to this holiest of places. Well, isn't that a coincidence? I seem to have lost my way. Perhaps you can help me find it. Surely you know this area better than I. As a matter of fact, yes, I will lead you to this place. Let's go. In the vanilla game, this lady has like a ridiculously low run speed, and it's incredibly annoying. But I think one of the mods I've got fixes that issue. Better followers or something. Easy Escort, I think that was it. $150 septins is like, yeah, that's actually like a decent chunk of money for us right now. Well, like ancestral tomb. We will not be robbing those since we're a nice, well-behaved temple character. We'll not be robbing ancestral tombs. I will have these comberries though. They are one of the very few ingredients in this game that can be used to make magic potions with, so. I love the early game because 150 septins is a small treasure. Yeah, particularly in Rebirth, which does a number of things to make it so that you never really have a huge amount of money. I loaded up the last Antonia save earlier today while I was mod testing. And like, even at the end of that playthrough, she still only had like a couple of grand. Like Antonia did not retire as a particularly wealthy legionary. Probably realistic in it, but you know. And a lot of it actually is because the fast travel costs are so high in Rebirth. So Antonia was constantly basically paying a tax in the form of all of the transport fees via silt striders and boats and whatnot. But it really, honestly, it made that playthrough a lot more interesting. So, hello, Mori or Mean. Begging your pardon, have you seen a bandit nearby? I must find him. Yes, I was just walking along here, minding my own business. Suddenly a bandit jumped at me from behind. He was a dark elf, a strong, dashing dark elf. He didn't harm me in any way, though he did take my jewels. He was quite gentle, and he talked to me for what seemed like forever. What's that? Oh, never mind the jewels. I just want to find the bandit again. He was charming and funny, and I simply must see him again. His name? Nelos. Nelos Onmar, a name that will stay on my lips for eternity. Perhaps you can find him for me. Please, I cannot live without knowing if you could ever love me. I have nothing to offer you in return, but could you not help me for the sake of love? Very well. You'll try? Thank you. I'm sure you'll be able to find him. He mentioned something about having to head south, so I imagine he might be found in Pelagiad. Please, if you find him, give him this glove for me as a token of my love. I'm sure it's certain he will want to find me again. Okay. We shall seek him out. We're probably going to come back this way anyway, so... Oof. Ah, pins and needles in my hand. Just need a minute here, folks. Also, Colin, I need to untangle you from my microphone cable. Oh, he's slinking away. Where are you headed, buddy? You off to go and have a snooze somewhere else? Fine by me. A cave. I'm going to leave it alone. Caves are a dangerous place for a level 1 adventurer. Especially when we've got a squishy Escort NPC with us. Does he leave your lap a bed of hairs? Actually, no. He hasn't been molting very much at the moment. He probably will start soon, though. It's that time of the year. The benefit of carrying no armor or weapons means that I've got a lot more inventory capacity to just hold random crap like this. Surprised I didn't loot that when we were here last time. Here we go. We've arrived. Thank you for your help, Sally. Here's the payment I promised you. May you all of your travels be safe. They won't. But cheers anyway. Okay. Alright, we're here and I forgot the muck. Idiot. I meant to go to the alchemy shop in Balmora and buy some muck before we left. There's some muck sponges over there, but if unless it's changed, with Rebirth you require a muck shovel to be able to harvest muck directly from a sponge. Muck quest 2. Yeah. Yeah, you need a muck shovel. Damn and blast it all. Oops. We got a bit soggy, but that's fine. Oh, you want to fight, do you? Theoretically, we ought to be able to take a mud crab. I mean, the weakest enemy in the game. Absorb your fatigue, though. I'll make this a bit easier. Yeah, we're kicking his ass. Success! Haha! Yes! You want some as well? Hiya! Aren't small climber worms easier than mud crabs? Not I mean, I could be wrong. It's been known to happen. But I'm fairly sure the mud crab is statistically the weakest enemy in the entire game. See you, Bagovo. Yeah, hand-to-hand does increase quite quickly, doesn't it? We're already at 36. I think we started at 30. Or maybe it was 35. No. It was definitely 30, because I remember us getting 31 right at the start. We were punching that Nick sound. Oh, you were saying bye to... Okay, right, well, hello again, Oberguffo. Bye, Tyra. I think there will inevitably, unless there's any kind of legislation to stop it, and I don't think there will be. Inevitably, you will reach a point where you can use generative AI to create voices from scratch. Yeah, that are not based on any particular person's voice. That work more in the kind of same way that. Generative AI works with images, whereby you make it look at a whole shitload of images and then tell it to use that information to generate something of its own. In honestly an eerily similar way to the way that the human mind works. Uh-oh. What is it? A cliff race? I knew it. That I have less of an issue with, honestly. I think it's for me. It's more of it. Literally, is the very specific issue of making an exact replica of someone's voice and making it say stuff without their consent. That specifically, I can see getting legislated against, because more than anyone else, it's going to affect rich celebrities and politicians, and that is why probably it'll get legislated against. Finally, we meet at last. Let's absorb some of your fatigue, shall we? Oh, come on. This is getting embarrassing. Oh, for pity's sake, right. Gonna have to finally use a magicka potion. Do I not have any cheap magicka potions? No, just standard. Just 2 standard ones. I'm gonna restore my health. That spell actually lasts for a bit longer than I thought it did, and I'm gonna use Elemental Burst. Let's just deal with this clown. Enough messing around. would behoove us to level up our destruction occasionally anyway. Read that the current iteration of image generative AI is suffering from something of an inbreeding because the internet has been saturated by AI art, so much the models are now scraping other AI art, causing it to degenerate. Yeah, I've heard that's a thing. There's a specific term for it, I think, but they'll figure out a way around that. Any time someone points at something like that and goes, "Ha-ha! You see, AI will never work." Yes, it will. Little problems like that will be ironed out in no time. Sometimes I wonder what part of AI is not being told to the public. Probably whatever uses it has in a military context. We're just now starting to see AI being used in military contexts in places like the Middle East and in Ukraine. That's the stuff that they're actually, we're actually being told about. So goodness knows what military applications they found for it behind the scenes we don't yet know about, that is still very much classified. I know the British Army recently has been testing a new type of scope to go on the top of their rifles for detecting drones and allowing soldiers to shoot them much more accurately. I don't know exactly how it works, but the general impression I've got is essentially the scope detects the presence of the drone and directs the firer. Basically, it gives them almost like some sort of lead indicator, I think, that shows them where they should fire in order to take down the drone in movement at distance with very, very accurate fire. So yeah, let's have a drink. Fill our containers, because I forgot to do this earlier. And we're going to go to one of the pubs down here and try and get ourselves a meal. Because we're getting quite hungry now, aren't we? Yeah. This guy, isn't it? With a haircut you could set your watch to. Hot meal, 26 gold. Back in the day, we used to go for the tasty soup, didn't we, with Antonia, because it boosted her terrible agility. What would be the best choice for Sally, though? Fortify personality, fortifies fatigue, health, or chunky stew, I think, for the Magicka fortification. More of a chunky stew guy myself as well, actually, to be fair. I know you're not all AI, and you're the only real human here. How do you know we're not all real humans and you're the AI, eh? Right, let's go find that muck before I forget again and we have to do this all over again. Nice fountain thing. It's kind of cool. Quick draw hand. It's amazing how poorly all those comments about AI not being able to draw hands and therefore never being able to replace real artists aged, because now AI can draw hands quite well. It didn't take very long. If you've ever used Bing Create recently, or Microsoft Copilot or whatever we're calling it now, but yeah, that can do pretty good hands. 17 Daedra hearts, my god. Whoa, 15 down. She's got a real collection here, hasn't she? Holy crap. You are well stocked, madam. Well stocked indeed. Ooh, Twilight Membrane. Very valuable. Also provides Levitate. What we need, though, is Muck. Muck! Glorious Muck. She's only got 2 Muck. But 1 is enough. What is Muck as it's used in Morrowind society? That's a good question, actually. What do they use Muck for? Aside from just as an alchemy ingredient. Maybe, yeah, fertilizer, maybe. You want to say soap? Well, they have slope, right? Slope. They have soap. They have slowed soap. That's a vanilla game item, slowed soap. Then again, I suppose we don't know exactly what slowed soap is made of. Presumably it's not made of actual slowed. Then again, it is quite valuable. Damn, you know, I could dispose of corpse, but actually I'm quite happy to leave him there as a trophy. Slowed soap is a product created by Sloads. Slowed Corp. Tamriel's primary provider of soap. That's secretly what they're actually more well known as. Aside from being necromancers. Sloads need to be in the next Elder Scrolls game. It'd be neat if there were some Sloads in it, yeah. They're kind of one of those fun bits of Elder Scrolls lore that rarely gets touched upon. Shadow looks like a crash test dummy. It does, doesn't it? Not really visible in first person, obviously, but yeah. Yeah, we got that basic bitch, vanilla Morrowind Shadow. There was in the original game an any option to enable detailed shadows, but they absolutely demolished and continue to this day, I think, to destroy your frame rate. And they're not available in the graphics options in the game as a result, because they were so glitchy that the developers decided to leave it out. Yeah, I do. I appreciate what you're talking about, HJ. Like generative AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to like it, but it is here to stay. You know, you can take the attitude of, you know, the saboteurs in France or the Luddites in England during the Industrial Revolution and rage against the machine, but the machine's not fucking going anywhere. So you can make your peace with it or not. That's entirely up to you, but it's here to stay. What it means for the future in general, couldn't begin to tell you. I ain't smart enough to figure that out. Here we go. Donate Muck and ask for a blessing. Grace of humility. Thank you for your humility, Lord Vivek. I shall neither strut nor preen in vanity, but shall know and give thanks for my place in the greater world. There we go. Oh yeah, Maury's glove. We should probably head to Pelagia and take care of that now. Brilliant. And we got Feather 100. We're going to run even faster now. Hell yeah, we are. Right, Pelagiad. Which roll? Which roll? Pelagiad Gandalf, is it left or right? I should know this. Good God, I've played this game for enough years to know where Pelagiad is, surely. Why am I'm having a total brain fart here. I don't think it's that way. Although, is it? Actually, it might be this way. I don't know. Well, you know, it's kind of fun being lost in Morrowind. I have to admit, not immediately knowing where I need to go, but at the same time, it's sort of like, oh my god. Most people don't let me. Sort of like, I feel like I should know this, and it's alarming that I don't. Hello, please. Might you be of some assistance? My friend is lost, and oh no, it's not. No, it's the mating Kagouti quit. I'm gonna get so horribly killed here. Yes, my friend Edris Oril and I were travelling to Vivek, and he heard a strange animal sound nearby. He's sort of an amateur naturalist, and he felt compelled to seek out what was making the noises. That was hours ago, and I'm afraid of something terrible has happened to him. If you could find him and bring him back safely, I'd really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I'm really more of a scholar, as is he. That's why we were travelling together. A little safety in numbers, you know. Can you help? I'll try and find your friend.
I really don't have time for this, so make it quick.
Skill set wise, we're not really a paladin, but like conceptually, we are basically a paladin, which pretty much makes us lawful stupid. Which means I'm going to have to deal with these mating Kagouti. Probably use magic on these guys. They're screwing around. Okay, they're not as aggressive as I remember them being, I must admit. Alright then. I guess I'll just carry on. Yeah, we're not using OpenMW. It's just vanilla Morrowind patched and whatnot. Oh, thank heavens you found me. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't shown up. I've been trapped here by some Kagouti since my friend and I were separated. You've met Thorinor then. I don't dare to try and go back while they're still prowling the area. Perhaps you can take care of them or find another way for us to get back. Another way, such as? Well, nothing comes to mind right away. I was hoping you had a way. I just fear those Kagouti will attack me again if they see me. Perhaps I could cast a spell on you so they can't see you. I mean, theoretically, I guess you could, like, chameleon on touch or something, or invisibility on touch, but, like, it's got to be the only instance in this game where that would actually ever be useful. Try and get rid of the Kagouti for you. Alright, then. Did I grab these cranberries? I did not. Can we eat cranberries? Do they count as food? No, they don't. They're herbs for cooking with. Alright. It's probably going to suck. I seem to have managed to aggro them one at a time at least. Oh no, here it comes. Oh dear. And we're dead. Well, if we're going to take out these Kagoutis, we're going to need to rest first, aren't we? And get most of our... Oh no. Oh dear. Yeah, there was something weird going on with their aggro range. Now when I reload the save, they're instantly aggroed. Oh, we've just got this one to deal with, I guess. Oh, come on. Seriously? I hate touch spells. They're so inconsistent in terms of how close you have to be for them to work. Ugh. Mating ones are a bit sturdier, aren't they? I think so, a little bit. They're definitely supposed to have a much greater aggro range than regular ones. We've got some ancestral powers we could make use of. Before we give up entirely. Ancestral Guardian and Protective Spirit, so... But I'd like to deal with these guys one at a time if possible. There we go, yeah. Right, Protective Spirit, Ancestral Guardian, and okay, Sanctuary has done absolutely nothing for me. Amazing. Oh, he's so close to being dead. Oh, we're never going to be able to take him down with hand-to-hand, though. And there goes my ghost. Cheese it a bit with some fortify. Yeah, okay. Oh, come on. I don't suppose I have an... No, no. I'd like to be able to get away just so I can rest and recuperate. Like, we can just, you know, assemble a straw bed and sleep. Oh, there we go. They've given up. Brilliant. Alright. It's now officially crafting o'clock. We need straw. Right, I can now make a straw bed. Cycle drop mode. Oh, I see. There we go. We have a straw bed. And we can sleep on. Let's make a little fire. You don't have anything to light the fire. Can I use magic to light the fire? Yes, I can. Haha! Nice. No flint and steel needed for us. Right, then where's my chisel? Make a wooden ladle. I can't make any stone cutlery. Do I have enough? I've put plenty of stones. Need more wood, don't we? Should probably make an axe. That's probably the next thing we should do, just to be able to get access to firewood much more easily. Using all 11 pieces of wood for the campfire is a little excessive, admittedly, but never mind. Done now. Wood axe flint. There we go. Now, I can use this to just acquire wood from random trees. Like so. So I was just checking to see if we had that issue where the axes were silent again. But no, we're good. Boosting our survival skill a bit. What a Minecraft texture pack. More riveting gameplay for you here, folks. We're not repeatedly punching a cliff racer, we're repeatedly punching a tree. Morrowind in 2024 has achieved a new higher level of boomer gameplay. Down the entire thing goes. There's an optional plugin, I think, to make the trees fell in a more realistic way, but I did not enable it. Do you know what? I will make a small torch just to use in the dark areas, and then a large one that I can pop up here just for giggles, honestly, more than anything else. There we go. Why would I make a lean-to? Straw, rope, and even more wood? Nah. Craft a wooden bowl. I need, like, place utensil. I need a wood grill. That's what we need. No, it's not like a proper cooking pot, is it, this bowl? We need a... I'm sure you can make a stone cooking... It's like a stone bowl, but you can use it for cooking. But I think possibly my survival skill isn't high enough to be able to craft it yet. Have at the tree. Yeah, I think we need more bushcraft. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, best way to do that is punch some more trees, I suppose. So... punch trees and make things out of them. And it's raining. Lovely. Maybe I should make that lean-to so we can sleep in the dry. Where's my knife? There it is. How about the vegetation? I think if our survival gets to 15, might be able to actually craft some better stuff. More useful stuff. You can make a wood stack, but that feels a bit... That feels more useful if you're considering permanently setting up camp somewhere. You just need this little lean-to, don't we? So straw and rope. Rope acquired. Straw. Boosh. Oh my word. Okay, it doesn't need to be quite that gigantic. Let's move it like sort of... There we go. Lovely! Destroy! Have we got anything we can cook? That's all this cork bowl route, I suppose. It's the closest thing I've got to food. The problem is some of this is like actually quite useful alchemy ingredients, but I guess needs must. I just have to eat some of it. We'll probably burn it as well, won't we? Because our skill's really low. Can't you cook racer plumes? No. Why would you cook racer plumes? It'd be like cooking feathers. It didn't even burn them. Amazing. Alright, well, if it weren't for the rain, it'd be quite nice and pleasant and cozy and what have you, wouldn't it? We lay down. Oh, yeah, I forgot you can do the thing where you lie down and accelerate time, however. It doesn't really seem to have entirely worked because we're just lying on the floor now. Probably because the lean-to's in the way. Just, yeah. You can do a kind of cool time-lapse thing with this, though. Sleep. 10 hours. There we go. Good morning, world. Let's eat the other cork bulb root. Have a drink. We're ready to go. Destroy. There we go, we've got some of our crafting bits and bobs back. We're only 3 out of 240 encumbered right now because of the Fields of Kumu blessing. I am, I must admit, totally okay with that. Right, so these Kagouti. Deal with them we must. You have charcoal to draw with. Oh, could you use charcoal to draw stuff? Brilliant. Alright, you son of a bitch. Oh boy. Restore health. Fight him, Ghost. Fight him! I wonder if I could try and use Exhausting Touch on him. Is that Drain Fatigue? Yeah, it is. Probably doesn't stack then, does it? I thought that spell was Damage Fatigue, but it's only Drain, which is comparatively rubbish. Oh, they're really annoying, these guys, because they attack you and they take a step back, which means they as soon as they hit you, they're out of touch magic range. Right, one down. Skinnable as well, apparently. Well, you bit your ass, I'm skinning it. I'll get my pound of flesh. There we go. Well, we're mostly dead. Yeah, you can disable this in the options, but we can actually rest without any kind of bedroll or bed if we want to. I'm going to rest for most of the day. And try and do this again. Oh, you son of a... I hate you. Stop dodging out of range of my spell. Oh my god. At least I can level up, but only if I live. No. Yeah, dealing with this second one's going to be more difficult. Is this a situation in which enough RNG will get me through it, or are we genuinely boned here? That is the question. Okay, this is probably a situation where if we do this enough times, we'll eventually nail it. Killed one. Yeah, I did kill one, but I did it with the aid of the Ancestral Ghost and Sanctuary, which I now don't have access to unless we rest for another 24 hours, so the equation has changed. I mean, I could use Reflect 10% to help somehow. Weakest friggin' buffing spell ever, but... Can't remember if Reflect actually reflects all damage in this game, or if it's just magic it reflects. Judging by the fact that his health isn't going down when he hits me, I think it might just be magic. Right. Restore health. And the problem we have now is that Glow on Magicka. Oh, come on, just... We're so close! Oh my god. Ugh! Ah, it is indeed stupid, I agree, Sally. Oh, come on. It's that little dodge out, slightly out of spell range that screws me over. Alright. Restore health. Try and take advantage of all the weird rocks. Oh, come on. Stand closer. There we go. Must get my hands on a ranged spell as soon as possible. Also, hello! Look who's back, everybody! The Dark Lord has arrived again. Got bored of whatever else he was doing and has returned to us. Hello. How you doing? You could take that Kagouti in a fight, I bet. Couldn't you? You'd kick his ass. I need a spell that summons Colin. Also, he's gotten... there we go. He got all tangled up in the wires. I had to untangle him there. There we go. Let's assign the flint knife to a hotkey. Wherever it bloody well is. There we go. Morrowind by default, 0 is the unarmed hotkey. You get like a free hotkey that is specifically for unarmed. Brilliant! Well, that was a quest that was much harder than it probably should have been. Can you cover yourself in Kagouti pheromones to be safe from them? Yeah, there is like an alternative solution to that quest. I'm sure of it. Because these guys are, you can encounter these two as a random side quest, but I think you can also encounter them as part of a faction quest. And if you do it via the faction quest, I think you're given something like that, like the Kagouti pheromones or something, in order to.
Under sun and sky.
Unless I'm.
We
This is
breathe
half-remembered memories from about a decade or two ago. The Kagouti are dead. You killed the Kagouti? I thought that might have been the case. I could no longer hear their calls anymore. You know, the Kagouti have a very distinctive call. One type of vocalization you'll hear is used for mating, another for territorial disputes. And the coloration on them is beautiful. The one who chased me here was a real ripper. Well, I could go on all day about this. I'll just follow you back to Thorinor now. Go on, Edris. Here's 70 hit points. Compared to my 35. Dude had a better chance of taking out the Kagouti than me. However, I guess he's a coward, unlike Sally. She was suicidally brave, she is.
Sorry, stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I'm afraid I don't have much to give you as a reward, but this amulet may help you in your travels. It has helped me, the two of us. It's helped the two of us out on a number of occasions. Take care. Amulet of Slow Falling. Slow fall 30 points for 10 seconds on self. That is a really handy bit of kit to have. Genuinely. Excellent. Oh, there's an ancestral tomb over there. The skeleton next to it. We're not going in the tomb, but we'll see if the skeleton's got anything. Nope. Right, now we're just going to get to Balmora without being nailed by some random wildlife. Although actually, technically we're supposed to get to Pelagiad too, which is this way. Which might be a bit harder, but I'm going to give it a try. Instead of resting for another 24 hours. Although I suppose we could rest here at Alof's farm. Because the book mentioned that this place is kind of open to pilgrims. I mean, I can't literally use the bed, but it kind of mentions this being a safe port of call. So, alright, fuck it, we'll rest until healed. It's too hot to rest, you must find shelter. What? Now it's really cold. What's going on? This is very confusing. It was too hot to rest, now it's too cold? This is very odd. Whatever, let's set up a proper campsite, I suppose. Yeah, he locked the door, I know. What a jerk. Gotta steal his crops for that. All this salt rice is gonna be mine. I could light it with my torch small, or I could just do that. Which seems, it's way more fun to do that. I should go to a spell maker and I should make a spell that's just literally for lighting fires, like literally like fire damage 1 point on touch. Just for, I could call it spark or something, I don't know. But we could, I should make that just for lighting fires with. That should warm us up a bit. Need some rope, apparently. I can make a lean-to. This will shelter us in the rain a little bit, help us warm up. The heat slightly, I don't know. Yeah, we are warming up a little. Not as much as I'd like, though. If we add more firewood, the fire gets a bit, yeah, more effective. call it something ridiculous like Glantheir's Orb of Inferno. Yeah. Morrowind was like the last Elder Scrolls game to have spells that with cool names. Like D&D style names. Like Ondusi's Open Door. Ekash's Lock Splitter. Ooh, fishing pole. Just need a bit more wood for that, apparently. Why don't we hotkey the axe as well? Apparently. Yield to me, tree. Yield. Chopping down a tree on Alof's land right now. If he were willing to unlock his door and come out here, he'd probably be real annoyed. But no. Ah! Survival skill increased. Now, can I make myself... No, I still can't make any stone items. Ugh. Annoying. I mean, I've got a hammer and I've got a chisel. I thought that's what you needed. Maybe not. I can use it to repair this a bit. Although my repair skill sucks, so it's not going to be very effective, is it? Got a fishing pole, though. Yes, I may need to make a brand new flint knife soon. Right, have I got anything else to eat? Yeah, I've still got more cork bulb. A diet of cork bulb and not much else. Delightful. Well, it seems like Morrowind potats. Actually, I think that would be ash yams, technically. I'm not really sure what cork bulb is. Cork bulb sort of, I imagine in my mind, it's like really... I feel like it's more like a turnip in my head. That's how I'm imagining cork bulb. Turnip or radish kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh my god. Ah! Foul beast! That's what I say to Colin sometimes when he walks into the room, actually. I get some nasty spell that really does a number on an enemy's fatigue, so I can punch them to death. I'll probably break the game by doing that. Hell yeah. Level up. Hang on a minute. Can I actually... Yep, we've ascended to level 2. There we go. I was beginning to wonder if we needed a bed for that or something. Oh, for God. Fuck off, Fences. You're a great app, but I don't need this from you right now. Gah. Right. Sure, I guess we'll take more speed. Willpower. No, willpower. And do I want a point of intelligence or a point of agility? I think I'll take the agility, honestly. Fences. Oh, it's a piece of software you can use to organize your desktop icons into categories. It's quite a handy bit of kit, but it does like to give you a really irritating pop-up message telling you it's out of date. I think Colin was making some funny little squeaky noises. He has a very wide array of like different snoring noises. He makes a lot of... You do make a lot of sound when you're asleep, dude. You squeak and you snuffle and snore and all sorts. Oh. Oh no, it's just... Oh, I guess I will extinguish it. Fine. Right. We're thirsty. There we go. Let's eat the other cork bulb root and hit the road finally. Onwards to Pelagiad, where we'll probably end the stream. Does Colin ever try to meow or yawn right after eating? He does try and meow, which then sometimes turns into a yawn, which makes a funny noise. Oh, he's a good cat. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Cats make rather lovely pets. Depending on the cat, I suppose, to an extent. Although I recently discovered that apparently cats are absolute babe repellent. There was a study of like user data from Tinder recently, and you may find it fascinating to learn that women swipe right on men 30% less if they have a picture of a cat or a picture of them holding a cat or whatever in their profile. Conversely, however, they're 20% more likely to swipe right if you have a picture of a dog. So, if you want all them sweet, sweet Tinder matches, get a dog, not a cat, if you're a dude. The data does not lie. Apparently. I don't even know if this is the right way to Pelagiad, and I don't much care at this point. We're either going to hit Pelagiad or Vivek, I'm not sure which. No, I think Pelagiad was back the other way, wasn't it? Well, there's a signpost there. Bet you anything doesn't have Pelagiad on it, though. Oh! Well, if the game does insist on making a fool of me, Pelagiad this way. You gave up on Tinder a long time ago. Wise move. Very wise move. I don't use it myself either these days, but I do find all of the data that comes out of it really fascinating. Tinder is a really interesting thing to study, but it's not much fun to actually use. You kind of get it since dogs are usually more high maintenance, so that can be a good sign. Apparently, yeah, like according to the article about the study that I read, like apparently that's one of the hypothesized reasons for why women prefer guys with dogs, because dogs are more high maintenance, and it suggests that the guy is more responsible or whatever. He has enough income and free time to be able to support and care for a dog. So it decreased your mental health significantly. Oh yeah, absolutely. You want to destroy your mental health as fast as possible. Any percent speed run? Download Tinder today. Could be to do with masculine stereotypes. Yeah, that too. Dogs are, for some reason, seen as a more masculine animal, and cats more as feminine. And ad break. You know, we still haven't gotten any of those mushrooms for Ajira. We keep getting distracted. Aerodynamic ace pilot. I'm going to remember that one. I'm going to file that one away in the old giggle filing cabinet in the brain. You just console command the ingredients for Ajira. Can't be asked to search for them. They're really easy to find though. Goodness me, Jang, you were the last person I expect to be hearing using cheat codes to complete quests in an RPG. I'm amazed. I feel I need to double check the chat to make sure it's Django who actually said that. Django half-arsing a video game? Feels like a sign of the end times. Got any more Tinder statistics? Let me think. Having used dating apps for a little while last year, my Google sort of like feed on my phone ended up getting filled with all sorts of dating app related topics, which is how I found out about this useless information. I'm trying to think. Is there anything I read over like the last year or so in that department that was also kind of interesting? Nothing really comes to mind other than the standard stuff of like about like anything between 70 to 80% of the user base of apps like Tinder is actually male, and of the 20% on there that's female, a smaller proportion of them are heterosexual, and an even smaller proportion of them are actually on there to actually actively date rather than just browse and look at people, essentially. Because I mean, at the end of the day, these apps are they're like shopping for humans, you know. It's like eBay but for people. So a lot of people like sign up to them just to sort of look, just to sort of window shop and like oogle like who's out there. Job notice. I remember this quest. Part-time assistant wanted, inquire within. Don't know if I'm going to do that quest today. What's this? Warrant. Warrant for Harold Two Fingers. Nord known as Harold Two Fingers has been reported for the murder of an imperial tax collector in Caldera. He was last seen here in the area around Pelagia. Take great care if you are travelling on your own. Stick to the big roads leading in and out of town. Angeril. Nelos Onmar should be in here somewhere. There he is. The scoundrel. Ah, Sally, the pleasure is truly mine. One cannot help but praise beauty such as yours. To gaze into your eyes is to experience the divine. See for yourself. Is my pulse not pounding? He laughed softly. Do not be offended, Sirrah. I could not help myself. But I am being rude. Nelos Onmar is my name. I am at your service. I brought Maury's glove. You have what? How odd. She was a lovely young woman, but what would she want with a rogue like me? She's beautiful, though, and seemed sweet. The first time in my life, I actually felt a little remorse for robbing someone. I should see her again. Here, take this. Tell her you have a note from Nelos. I must see her again. I won't forget this, friend. Yes, just tell her you have a note from Nelos. I think she'll be happy with it. Can we read the note? Maury, truly I was enchanted with you from the moment I saw you. I beg your forgiveness for my past transgressions. While I cannot imagine what a woman of your beauty and breeding would see in a rogue such as me, I thank the gods that you have sent for me. I will come to you as soon as I can. Until then, yours, Nelos. We still got the Dwemer menus out, I see. He wrote it in less than a minute. Just scribbled it out there. I have a whole set of form letters like that. Okay, that's my favourite headcanon for this situation. Yep. He's got a whole bag full of those things. Oh, there you go. Speaking of Giga Chads and Tinder, apparently, so hypergamy is a thing on dating apps, whereby basically women, when selecting someone that they want to match with on Tinder, they tend to want to date across or up in terms of like financial status and attractiveness and stuff. Which has this weird effect, which means that basically, like, there is like a top like 1 or 2% of male users on dating apps who get like 99% of the attention. And to most blokes, this probably sounds like oh, this sounds amazing. I wish I was them. But like, I actually read an article last year that was like where I think it was a Guardian article. I'm not sure, but basically the journalist in question went and interviewed some of the most popular guys on Tinder and asked them like what it was actually like to be them, and they all hated it. They thought it was the worst thing ever. They got so much attention on these apps that everything about it felt completely meaningless. They were drowning in way too much choice and way too much attention. And they ended up like going out on dates with people they'd already been on dates with but completely forgot until they met them in person again and were like, hang on a minute, haven't we met? Yes, I've got the note from Nelos. He gave you a letter to give to me. Wonderful, thank you. So, I knew that he cared. You know, you didn't have to do all this for me, and I really appreciate it. You're clearly a wonderful person. You should visit my friend Barnard Erroley in Telbranora. He's a wonderful person, and I think the two of you would get along famously. You don't care about the jewels anymore. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I promise you the whole hypergamy thing is not made up. I know it sounds incelish, but at least as it applies to dating apps, it is very much an established phenomenon. I'm pretty sure it generally, on like, it's the thing, we're dealing with averages and large data sets here, so like we're not saying like literally every woman in the world wants to date across or up in terms of social, financial, or status or attractiveness or whatever. This is a very broad average we're talking about, because obviously there's plenty of exceptions to this. But broadly, it is true. There's data to support it. Women tend to date men who are either as wealthy as them or more wealthy, and as educated or more educated than they are. Again, we're talking broad, huge, large population data sets here. We're not talking about individual people, really. We're talking about sort of averages. Balmora's that way. Do we want to go back to Balmora right now? I suppose we... really, I suppose we ought to be heading to the Bitter Coast to go find mushrooms for a chair. I said we were going to stop when we got to Pelagia, but honestly, I'm happy to keep going for a bit longer. Maybe get those mushrooms and turn them in at Balmora and then call it a night. Huron queer apps have vastly different problems. Yeah, apparently, like, queer dating is a whole other, like, kettle of weird fish that works in completely different ways. Like I said, I used to use dating apps for a while, and then I deleted them all because I just didn't like using them anymore. But I still find it fascinating to read about this stuff. I can't explain why. I just find all these statistics really interesting. Oh, our athletics finally increased to 12. You know that's the thing that already exists and has existed for like thousands, if not hundreds, if not thousands of years on works. They're called matchmakers. They've existed for a very, very long time. I remember seeing an article the other day that was like an interview with one of like Ireland's last traditional matchmakers. Because obviously they're dying out as a concept and being replaced largely by apps. First Dave gets a real job, then he'll start dating. Oh, no. I tried the whole dating thing last year, as I said. It's a shit show out there, ladies and gentlemen. It is not fun. Have to try again after you maybe become a reservist. I don't know. Right, the Bitter Coast. It's mushroom hunting o'clock. Out of my way, tree. I've spotted some already. Violet Coprinus, Luminous Russula. No luck with those this time, though. No viable samples, I guess. I'll wear the foe at last. Failing to cast a spell like a champ. Like it's not a place to pick up and meet people. It sort of depends, yeah. There is there's that general philosophy of don't shit where you eat. But on the other hand, I do know an awful lot of people who met their spouses through work. So it's one of those things you got to take on a case-by-case basis. Oh, the way it wiggles when it's been knocked over. That's weird. And honestly slightly disturbing. Victory! Oh, it is skinnable as well. Quamacuttle, hurrah. Oh, we've already got Violet Coprinus. We need Luminous Russula, Bungler's Bane, and Hyperphacia right now. Bungler's Bane and Hyperphacia usually find on tree trunks and tree stumps. Also, ampule pods. You can make water walking potions. Those? We have a water walking spell, admittedly, but no harm in making potions as practice. Yes, one very tenderized bit of Quamacuttle. See a lot of animations 99% of Morrowind players never see. Yes, admittedly. That is one very strange little perk of playing hand-to-hand. I wonder if Dagoth has a, you know, KO'd animation. Presumably he must do. What about Vivek and Almalexia? I guess they must do as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're not dead, so it's okay. What have we found? Some treasure. Treasure. I'll leave the rest. Now then. Let's continue to keep an eye out for mushrooms. Also, about to go tenderize another Quama forager. Come on. By the time I've cast the spell, I will have recovered enough fatigue for it not to matter. Yep, pretty much that's exactly what happened. Come on. We'll get there eventually. Gotcha. Right, well, there's a little cave there. I remember this cave. I remember it from Theriax's wonderful Morrowind Let's Play with Rast. This cave for me shall forever be associated with that video series now. Ooh, Coda Flower. That, one of its properties is levitate. Handy thing to find. Oh my... Alright, you know what? Maybe another time. Spore pods. I forget if they have anything useful on them off the top of my head. Oh, here we go. Here's some shrooms. Luminous Rustula acquired. This is water breathing. See if we can harvest a few more Coda flowers. Longest Pelagiad trek ever. Dude, we've been there. We've been and gone. I don't know if you left the stream while that was happening, but we've been to Pelagiad. Job done. Met Nelos. Handed the note back to What's-Her-Face. We're good. And those are some skeletons. Haunted shipwreck. Yeah, you were there, exactly. You see, I have an excuse for being absent-minded. It's because I'm streaming and commentating and doing all of that stuff. You don't have no damn excuse. Well, so far, no Bungler's Bane or High for face yet. They're usually a little more tricky to find, those ones. But I know we can get some near Seydenine, so that's where we're going to head next. Oh, I like the little watchtower here. That's kind of neat. It's hard being a viewer. Especially since most of you probably aren't viewers, you're listeners. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Person who's listening to this right now while doing something else like playing a video game. Yeah. I see you out there. A scrib. Oh boy. We're gonna get paralyzed, do you think? Probably. The scrib kind of looks a little manky. As well. It might be diseased. Oh. The guard came all the way over here to help us with it. It's an ash scrib. And it is skinnable. Thanks, man. Scrib jelly and our survival skill increased. Yeah, that I got a response from the chat. Called a lot of people out there. As an acquaintance of mine, Paul of Say Hi Paul fame, he makes Warhammer battle reports on his YouTube channel. They're very good. You should check them out. But he knows, likewise, that a lot of people don't really watch his battle reports so much as they listen to them in the background while they're doing painting or something like that. Which is why every now and again when he's doing one of these battle reports and either him or his opponent roll a particularly gnarly dice roll, you'll say to the camera, "Painters, look up." Curse you, rat. Out of my way. I have important business in Seydanine. This is a weekday, you would absolutely be background noise, but as it's the weekend, you can pay attention. And look at what you're paying attention to. What riveting gameplay we have here for you. Oh, come on. I know I'm really low on fatigue right now, but still. Yeah, we're really lacking in the potions department, aren't we? Goodness me. Poor Sally is absolutely exhausted right now. Give me your rat meat. Okay, more luminous russular. Don't need any more of that. Keep an eye on those tree trunks. Aha! Keep an eye on those tree trunks because we're looking for precisely that. Also, we're about to acquire ourselves a new hat, everybody. Bungler's Bane, there it is. And some Hyperfascia in the bargain as well. Brilliant, we've got it all now. Well, well, well. If it isn't Tamriel. Believe I have found the correct formula for the spell I'm developing. With it, I will be able to travel great distances without the need to pay others for the service. If all goes well, I will test out the new spell tomorrow. I believe I've worked out all the possible complications. It will allow me to leap great distances, covering many hundreds of miles. Never before has one been able to travel in this manner, vaulting from the ground, sailing through the sky, all without that terrible disorientation of a spell of flying. The time is almost upon me. My research is finished and all of my calculations are checked and rechecked. They laughed at me when I suggested this. We'll see who laughs after I leap to the top of their towers and scream out my success. He has the Scrolls of Icarian Flight, 3 of them. Cast once, fortify acrobatics 1,000 points for 7 seconds on self, and they do indeed allow you to leap ridiculously huge distances. The trick, though, is to use a slow fall spell before you hit the ground, which he did not do. I shall take his extravagant robe. I'm tempted to wear it, actually, but I think I'll just sell it. And his extravagant shoes. And his gauntlets. And that rather magnificent cloven fur helm of his, which... You know, some people it works on, some people it really doesn't. I'm afraid, Sally, it really doesn't work on you. And we could use the scrolls to get back to Balmora nice and quickly. There's a Silt Strider just down the road, but it could be more fun to use the scrolls. And the thing is, these I never use these because I think they're such a rare and precious resource that I never end up using them. You know. And then I never end up using them, and then I might as well have never picked them up in the first place. So you know what? We're going to use it. Also, I think I'm... Oh, thirsty and tired. Well, we can fix the thirstiness. Like so. Bearing in mind, we have an amulet of slow falling. So. There we go. Oh my. I just clicked the wrong thing, didn't I? Yep. I very much did. I used my scroll around CV intervention instead, which means we're now in Vivek! Which wasn't the plan, but here we are anyway. There's Abernhardt over there. Well, welcome to Vivek, everybody. Elite Ordinator. In other words, an Ordinator with a claymore and a dressing gown. Well, okay, then I guess next week we're going to be exploring Vivek instead. I guess that works. I mean, there are some pilgrimages to do here. In fact, yes, I have, as a matter of fact, accidentally ended up at the next pilgrimage site. So they're trying to stop the moon. There's the moon in question. And there's the shrine right over there. I need to buy a levitation potion to offer to it, though. Which I hope I've got the money for. I see there's a merchant lady with a guar there. She might be selling them, I wonder, potentially. But there you go. Yeah, destiny, indeed. It was fate. We were fated to do that. Alright, lovely. I'm going to save it here. Let's call it Sally 1. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. For those of you watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. I'll read your comments later. I don't know whether you'll end up seeing a full uncut broadcast on YouTube or if you'll see a cut down edited version of it. I haven't decided yet on that front. My gut is actually telling me I'd rather put up a big unedited thing, but I haven't decided yet. Totally. The thing, if I do make an edited version, it is a lot more work though. It's like the Stalker VODs that I did in an edited cut down version of it took me like 2 days to do each stream. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, next weekend we'll be back doing more temple quests and other shenanigans with Sally, who, if you're still unaware at this point, Sally is a character we've actually played on the channel before. I did a live-streamed playthrough of Knights of the Nine and the Knights of the Nine Revelations mod over in Oblivion with a Dark Elf ex-temple character called Sally. This is the same Sally. This is the prequel, effectively. Sally's career in the temple before the events of the main quest happened in Morrowind, and she left the temple and went off to Cyrodiil to become the Divine Crusader. So, as a giggle, we're doing a prequel here in Morrowind. So if you haven't checked out that series, it's not on my main YouTube channel. It's on the VOD channel, Sorcerer Dave Live. Back when I used to put stream VODs on a separate YouTube channel for reasons. I'm not really sure why I did it, to be honest. But you can find it, well, if you Google it, you should be able to find it. But if you go onto my main YouTube channel page and you search around, there should be a link somewhere on there to the Sorcerer Dave Live channel, and there are a few old, some of them quite old, stream series I did on there. And one of them is the Knights of the Nine playthrough with Sally. So, yeah, you can check that out if you want to. And it was a good playthrough too. I immensely enjoyed it, actually. Knights of the Nine Revelation is a fantastic mod. And Knights of the Nine in general is a pretty darn fun DLC as well, so... Anyway, does that mean you'll eventually leave the temple in this and go with the Imperial Cult? No. The reason, if I recall correctly, the reason Sally left the temple and moved to Cyrodiil is because the main quest of Morrowind happened. And everyone in the temple found out that they'd been lied to for centuries. And she decided to chuck it in and leave the temple as a result of that. So... the actual goal of this playthrough is to become head of the temple. We're going to be doing lots of Mages Guild stuff along the way as well, just because I want to do a lot of the Tamriel Rebuilt Mages Guild quests. But our chief goal is to become head of the temple. With this playthrough, a bit like how with Antonio we became head of the Imperial Legion. This one's goal is, well, yeah, basically to occupy the head office in that building right there. So, folks, been a pleasure. I'm going to catch you next time. Oh, fucking fences. God damn it. Folks, remind me later. Thank you. Morrowind's doing that thing again where it eats my mouse cursor. There we go. Ladies and gents, very professional this. Very, very professional. I ought to have hotkeys set up for all this stuff, but no, I alt-tab and use my mouse instead like a boomer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week.